There has been a paradigm shift in the weed industry, Jim Cramer says. There has been a paradigm shift in the budding marijuana industry and it has affected how Wall Street trades in the space, CNBC said Thursday. Pot stocks caught fire last year between Canada's legalization of recreational weed and the United States legalization of hemp in the 2018 Farm Bill. But Cramer says, MJ, the ETF MG Alternative Harvest ETF, which tracks stocks of legal cannabis businesses, deflated 49% from its September high to its December low and cooled off 17% between its April high and June low. A number of CEOs made bold forecasts for their companies, but recent earnings in the space show the Canadian market will be a dogfight, Cramer said. Even Canopy Group this. Recreational use of marijuana is now legal in 11 states across the country. Colorado, furthermore, stores offering products with cannabidiol UCBD, a legal derivative of cannabis, are opening across the country, but they are not yielding returns that traders were hoping for, he said. The federal drug last month, Brink's CEO Douglas Pertz told Cramer that the cannabis business is without. With that in mind, the host told viewers to be even more selective with their pot stock picks and pay attention to how products of the underlying equity are selling. He still recommends all other pure marijuana plays, including Aphria and Tilray, should be approached with more skepticism, Cramer said. Avoid the cannabis. Global financial services firm Morningstar recently initiated coverage on 6 weed stocks. Cramer also thinks Innovative Industrial Properties, a cannabis real estate trust, and GW Pharmaceutical, which makes drugs with synthetic CBD and tries to separate itself from the marijuana industry, can both be bought on a pullback. Questions for Cramer? Call Cramer 1.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,